Here we are again with the Orchid by Lego Creator Expert, and I forgot the set number of this because I misplaced the box. I think it's 10311, I believe. So we are starting bag 3, and we're going to start doing this stuff in here. Remember the last episode, we got this done, and it's pretty rigid, so this is really strong. And now I got to figure out exactly what bin has the goodies. I think that is that right there. This is the one I'm interested in. And no, I can't believe it's not butter. Well, of course it's not. It's bricks. It's not butter. Okay, we don't need that now. Throw that over there. Throw that over there too. Okay, so we got a different variety of parts today, and so far I'm pretty satisfied with the build. This part was pretty interesting, and I am trying to find I hate to think I grabbed the wrong ones here. If I grab the wrong bin, what do? I'll just have to dump this back in. And that's the beauty of not knowing what number of these things are labeled. So, no, here I found one. So, never mind. So, 3 of these. Yeah, looks like somebody just pruned the plant back, huh? Well, we'll fix that right up today. So, yeah, nothing to really talk about today. Yeah, my leg will be bumping into the tripod, so if you get motion sickness, this is probably not the video to watch. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm doing this. I may have to get some more of these containers. Is I'm going to start sorting this stuff by color. You know, when you get confused and you're trying to find a minority part in a stack of pieces like a needle in a haystack, it does get a little too much, so we're going to start pulling parts out. So we'll just take some of our professional sorting trays, and we will start putting the dark green in one and the black in the other. Okay, so there we go. And now we can continue. So, alright, I may have to change the angle on this a few times. We're going to be building something large, so I may have to back this thing away from the camera. Or is that all just pieced together? First off, let's make sure, do we have to build 3 of these? No, just the 1. I've learned with the tower bridge that you have to be careful, you know, because sometimes they'll trick you. Okay. See, I've been doing this too, doubling up parts in my manuals. You know, it just makes things a little better. I don't have these type of parts right here, so. And you know, there's always a thing. What else could you use the set for? You know, honestly, these type of pieces make great branches for trees. You know, they really do. So if you get this, you can easily do that. And we'll stick another one of these in here and then keep going up. Wait, hold on. Alright, so hold on. I got it up to this point here. Wait a minute, this is actually not... doesn't matter. Everything's color coded and you got to be careful. So it got it here, right here, and then I flipped it over here and I about freaked out. I'm like, what is this? So we got to make 5 of these and put that in there. So yep, more repetitious stuff, so we're going to have to do that. So my goal is in this episode is we're going to wrap it up, because right now I am rendering the the unboxing of this, the part exploration. And once I get that done, I'm going to start doing the tutorials. So you'll be able to watch some more builds, some custom stuff. At one time, these were custom builds from a designer, and they just decided, hey, we'll just make this into a set and strip the life out of it to where it's bare bones. Although I think these expert sets are kind of more preserved drafts. So we only have to build one of these. Now, this goes in one of these, but which one does it go into? Kind of a mess in there, isn't it? So this is the friction stub here. Okay, so it's this one right here. Okay. Whew. So far so good. When we start putting the leaves on there, I'll change the camera where you're seeing it this way here. So here we got another one to make. I hope it's not one of those ones that I have to end up doing like 5 kajillion times. So we'll just take our time and get this done today. We'll pour these out because we're going to need that anyways. We'll put these big things in there. Now, yep, it's finally cooling down again. It's not so hot and miserable. Yep, it's miserable, miserable, miserable. Alright, so got a lot of these. Throw those in there because I'm not needing these right now. Alright, you can hear the hard drive going bonkers in my camera. I've had this camera now for well over 12 years, and it's a good tutorial camera and stuff like this, because bringing out the professional camera, you know, after a while it's kind of like, you know, especially filming stuff like this, it would be a little easier. I may try it one day, but doing a 50-minute video or an hour-long video in 4K at 120 frames per second is a little it's a little too much, and I don't think no one's going to sit there and go do the oohs and ahs of that. Oh, come on, I don't need any more of those bent parts. I need these. And we got 1, 2, 3. And then probably saw the top of my head. So far so good. And we got to put the gray one in there. Yeah, my allergies are still been pretty bad. So here we got the stub. This one goes right here. And I didn't think about this, but this has to face a certain way. So this one has to face like this, I think. No, it's perpendicular. So, but it shows that it points towards this. So I may have put this one in wrong. There we go. I don't know how critical that is. So 1-to-1. Is that really 1-to-1? Do we have that part in here? Yeah, we do. Well, yeah, it is 1-to-1. I could do those on my manual, but I really don't know because a lot of the stuff I designed for is for mobile use. So Okay. This plus this. I've never seen that symbol before, ever. So, ooh, let me put that in there. That's black. We'll put that in there. So I need 2 of these, which I'm going to need to order a few of these because these would come in handy for making my own stuff. And I don't know how far these are going to go down. But you got to do something like that. All right, let's see here. And it shows this. There's a little bit of a space here and here. So how do you know how far to bring it down? Doesn't really tell you. And I'm having a hard time trying to fight these in there. So this is probably something I'm going to have to work on very slow. And the nose cones go on the top. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start with the nose cones. I think one of these I threw in here. We'll get the nose cones on the top first, and then we'll go from there. Sounds like a good idea. Because they look like they're evenly spaced about a brick, so I would just say slide these down like that. And I'm trying to line everything up here. I don't know how critical this is, so right about there. All right. And these go in the 2 remaining holes. Oh, I see what's going on. So we got to readjust these. All right, so it's just they just sit there. So it doesn't really matter. All right. First, let's make sure here. I'm sure it's very critical here. You can see how they have it tipped a bit right there. So I think that this lower one goes on this shaft here. So before you commit, just set it in there really loose, and then yeah. So you're going to have to feed this through here. So it was pretty critical up to a point. So they were just sitting in there. That's why sometimes video tutorials are a big help, because now we have this. And I think it's time to change angles on the camera, because now it's going to get pretty difficult. So stand by, let me do that. Okay, that's much better. So now you can proceed on here. So you just got to take some of these and go and add those in there. I may sound a bit more farther away because this camera is about 2 foot away from this. Now, which way do those go on there? Actually, they lap over. Sometimes I have to read ahead on the next page to make sure I'm doing everything correctly. So this one goes like this. Okay. Alright, so we got to make 2 of these things. Okay, and then goes like that. I don't think it matters, so you probably won't see some of this because I don't have a wide angle lens on this puppy. So, but you'll see the action up here. And they attach, here's the stub thing. So, okay, I see where they go. They go right here on the, so you're going to have to wiggle and jiggle again. and stick that there. I mean, it's not a bad build. It's pretty soothing, but it's. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather be building a camper or a car or something. Okay, so let's keep going here. Let's throw those big things in there. So this, I guess it does fit in there that much. Then a round brick and a round hollow stud. So that would go in there like that. And okay. Hope we don't have to make a billion of those. I guess we're going to have to piece this whole thing together. As I say, are we going to just be sticking those tubes in there? If you're short Technic cross axles, you can always use these. They don't lock, but they're pretty darn close to equivalent. Okay. So. And another bent one. Okay. And we got a sub step right there. So, yeah. I'm famous for doing those now, so I've been doing those a lot. So I've been stepping up my game on building instructions. Matter of fact, I've been working on doing campers in Lego, and those are usually the toughest manuals to build. I did get a fan of mine ask me if I can put my campers on Lego Ideas, and you know, sometimes it's like, why bother? You know, the only thing that gets 1,000 or 10,000 supporters on Lego Ideas is usually theme-based stuff. So unless I'm into themes, which I'm not, because my themes come from my imagination, no one's going to be interested in a camper. I've had fans tell me they're interested, but I'm like, it's not enough unless I can ensure that, because I really honestly don't want to waste a lot of time doing that here. Let's see here. Okay, so we got to put some tiles on there to fill in those holes. So which ones do we put in there? Alright, so see, sometimes reading the instructions, see how this tile's on the top? Mine's not like that, so I actually have to take this thing apart and do it like that. So, remember in school they always used to tell you to read ahead. Well, that's exactly what you're going to have to do here, is read ahead. Read ahead in the manual. Because see now, right there and there, now we match. It's like this. And this one goes right on this side right here. I don't know how critical that is, but we have to follow the instructions, right? That's right. Boy, it looked like somebody really bent this thing. I mean, it's all bent and crooked, but that's how it is. And then this goes here. I may have to back up the camera probably 20 feet. I hope I have enough space in my room, because this goes here on the lower tier. Right there. Well, it's not cross-axled, so I'm sure. There we go. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of detail in these, so I'm not going to complain that there's a lack of detail. Now we got to do another one of these. You know, the thing with Creator Experts sets is that you are, you know, yes, they are a bit pricey, but you are getting a lot of detail for your buck. You know, it's, you know, even if these are not playable models, they're display pieces, but that's just how it is. And two, well, guess what? You don't have to water these type of plants. You don't. You don't have to water them. You just build them and you don't have to water. Matter of fact, maybe you know, for these being expensive, maybe they're good because then you don't ever have to water them and stuff. There we go. So we got ice cream on the plant. Okay, you can still see that. I don't have autofocus on because the camera would just try to focus in on two different areas, and sometimes it's just a pain. Okay. I don't think it matters which way I put these on, but there we go. Yeah, a lot of people are out of town on spring break, and what am I doing? Work. Yeah, not too fun. That's how it is. But I'm going to be honest, though, about these dark manuals. Lego really does need to lose the manual in this color. First off, this is all inked pages. They could really cut down and save on the environment instead of doing the ink stuff, you know. But I think more and more, I don't really like it because I'm old school. But I think, honestly, it's going to be to the point one day where Lego will say, hey, you know what, we're going to go paperless. You know, I have a feeling it will happen one day, in my lifetime actually. Alright, so we fill these in here. At least this time I was paying attention and actually did this right. Now they always say put the stud on top of these right here. Right. Well, you know, for me it's just easier to set the Technic pins in here first, like that, and then I will just put the tiles on them. It's just easier to hold on to a bigger piece. The other way, it's just from experience. All right. And sometimes I don't even include these arrows into mine. These things right here, I don't really include arrows. Obviously you can tell where they go if you highlight them. And if everything goes well, it should attach down right here. Which way does it go? Well, obviously it will actually tell us. Actually, it doesn't matter, it's whatever it is. So now it just looks like a very bare bush that doesn't have anything on it. Can you even see that one? No, actually you cannot. There. Hey, it's starting to look like something now, huh? Alright, then we got to do another one of those. So yeah, I'm breaking these things down into portions. I may have to break this thing down into a separate video because this has taken a long time versus this. So I may just do this video here as bag 2. Or we already did 2, so this will be bag 3. So just basically stimming it up or something. I'll think of a name for it. Maybe just call it bag 3 build. Okay, so it faces up like this. And obviously it goes like that. How you know that is because the tube's there. And then the ice cream topper goes on top. Sometimes I do just skip around and do several steps at one time. Alright. And I mean, I know some people find these pretty boring. Some like them because I've had some fans tell me, hey, I like these because I get to fall asleep to them. You know, because there's no music in here. I don't yell in my videos. I don't cuss, although I've been kind of toying around the idea since these are mostly watched by adults, you know. But then again, who wants to hear a foul-mouthed sailor in the video, you know? And some people watch these with their families, surprisingly, so I don't want to I'd rather keep my stuff open for family instead of a very small limited audience. Alright. Alrighty, let's see here. At least I'm sitting down. I'm not sitting on my knees this time. Matter of fact, over here where I'm at, on this side right here, there's actually a bed buried in here, aka the work table. Sometimes I'll have a piece of plywood sitting on top of it, and the reason being is, unless I have guests over, it's a bedroom. Or if they don't want to leave, then they can sort all my bricks for room and board. I've only had a guest in here once, so okay, so I'm taking this faces upwards, and so let's tackle with, okay, we got to put the knobs and stuff in there. And you know, one thing I've noticed though when I do these, the Lego doesn't squeak. Some have said because my Lego is getting old, it could be that. Different types of plastics. I try to keep my Lego in a dust-free environment, which I fail miserably at. Okay, this one goes on the lower tier. Right there. Ugh. Uh-oh. I know what that means. I'm getting tired already. So this goes right here. Okay, it's starting to turn out. So let me guess, we're going to build another one because I do see some more. Yep, that's exactly what we're doing right there. I'm hoping that's the last branch. Because honestly, I'm literally getting branched out of all these here. Let's put all the big stuff in here. So let's see what we got in here. I'm just getting rid of all the irrelevant parts. And I'm looking for one of those curly things. These work good for making like plants come like a marsh for swamps. These work really well. I see a lot more potential for this one here in terms of recycling and repurposing the parts. And a lot of inspiration, so you could, you know, even use this thing down here for something too. Yep. Now you guys wonder why I put everything in containers as I do the part explorations. If you didn't know that, then now you know. Well, why do I dump all my parts out? Well, now you know. That's why I do. Okay. There's one that goes down here. Well, so far so good. It's starting to... Let me make sure it's all lined up here. Yeah. Okay, we got a sub-step, so I got to do this goofy thing. Yeah, so if you need parts for plants, this set has got you covered. So if you're interested in buying this just for a part out value for building plants, you probably could use about 50% of this set here. If you're willing to do that, you know, it can get a little pricey, or just download the manual for free. And I don't think I was supposed to put one in there, huh? Okay, so that's what it is. And like that. Alright. And then we put the 3 Technic pins in here. Wait, hold on. So I got to rotate that a bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's just Sometimes if you really want to go quick, you could just grab 3 of these and then cap them off with tiles. Also, what makes these things go faster is if you have enough sorting trays or butter containers, or whatever your preference is, you could sort by part type and by part color. It would make the bill go much better, although you would have a lot more containers on your table to work through. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so this one goes on here, with this part facing towards me. And I think that's it. So far, so good. And I've been doing those highlights too. No! My goodness gracious, we got to do another one. Look at that. So, guess what? More fun. This is, you know, like, this is for a hardcore plant builder. You know, am I losing interest in this at this point? I'm starting to. I'm starting to lose interest in this set. I mean, nothing wrong with the build or anything. I'm just, you know, when you're doing the same thing almost over and over and over again, and you're doing sub-step after sub-step, yeah, it gets pretty dry. And the dark green, yeah, this is this is earth green. And earth green is not too bad of a color, but it's also kind of bland too. Uh-oh, we are short a Technic pin. Or did it roll somewhere? Let's take a look in here. I mean, I got billions of these. Of course, it could have went in another bin that I had too. So I'm missing one more red. Oh no, it's behind the pot. My bad. So I was about to accuse one of you for taking the parts and hiding them from me. Alright. So let's see if that's correct there. No, not yet. How about that? There we go. Well, I'm not going to get excited until, because I have a film we're going to do the Technic pin and the tile thing. No, not yet, but we will do that soon enough. And, okay, we stick this down here. Why don't we just do that on that one step before? Or is it? Yeah, why don't they just do that before? I don't get that. Alright. And then we got to put the stuff in these 2 Technic holes here. So I have to find these. I'm going to order a bunch of these friction 1x1s because they'd be very handy. Matter of fact, this set is so new that it's not even in Pick-a-Brick, the parts. And you have to wait like 3 million months to get the parts in there now, so they have to wait a while. I guess they don't want us to have the cool stuff. Alright, so... Oh, it's right here. Alright, let's see here. Pull that up for you so you can see a little bit better. Oh yes, you can even see this. I need to do something about this power cord. Okay. Are we going to do anything fun now? No, we're going to do more stuff. So we need three frying pans. They have the arrows going to 2 of these, but they forgot that one there. So what they did is put the tile on the back, and then we're looking for this one here. They shoved it backwards in here like this. Well, yeah, shoved inside the Technic pin. Huh, I wouldn't have bothered with that, but you know, you get what you paid for, right? Extra detail. This one down here is going to be a bit of a chore. We'll just stick that right in that hole right down there. And then one right here, I believe. I don't know what the tiles are for really, unless it's meant to reinforce it or something, but we don't know. We just have to guess what that is, because they don't tell you in the book. Oh yeah, this is really going to be tough here. You got to have some pretty small fingers to get into that. Just have to finger that in there. There we go. And no, not that way. Alright, so now we're doing the big stuff. We got to make 2 of these. So, okay. Alright. Let's get going. So, you may not be able to see all this, or I could do is build right here, huh? So let me move these parts down here so you're not just looking at a steel screen. And then we just start building 2 of these. These make great planer boat parts too. Okay. And a couple of these. It's like, why don't we use those Technic holes? Now I see why. And I'm taking that's what the tiles are supposed to be for on the top. Okay. Alright. To me, why are we putting this here than this? Why don't we just put the tile on the top next? You know, this makes more sense, Lego, to do that part first, because it's already a very flimsy thing. To flip it over and flip it over again is just kind of pointless. So I'm going to do that and then flip it over. I revised my own manuals like several times before I even bother releasing the manual to you guys and gals for purchase, because I want to make sure you get the best build. Okay. Alright, so these go, okay, it's like that. Let me line it up to how I see it here. There's one next to here. Well, unless these are backwards, maybe these are supposed to be here. So I guess I had that. I guess I had that wrong, huh? I guess I'll have to. How do I deal with this here? Now let's just do that. There, I fixed it. I don't think it matters. I think these go in all the way. You may have to flip it upside down to see exactly where that's going in. There we go. And then we can just flop that down. That's a lot of pressure on that there. And we'll do it again. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong end. My bad. There we go. Alright. Looks like this thing's ready to flap and take off. Yeah, it looks just like the picture so far. Kind of. I don't think it's really going to matter how it's together. And we got to make some more of these, but these are smaller. Yeah, I'll go ahead and break the video up into shorter parts. Because it's just, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. Okay, they have a line in here, and I thought these were 2 separate pieces. Here they show it's solid, but here it's not. I was confused there. I was like, wait, what? And then one end, well, let's just put the tile on it first. Well, we only got to build one. I was expecting 2 of them. Well, let's just, I'm already here. Let's put it here and stick the tile on top of that. And you know what I'm craving for right now, guys and gals, is Cheez-Its. I'd have to go in the other room to go get them. Okay, so we have the long one here. Oh, the short one goes back there. Okay. It's like, did I mess something up? So, let's see here. Alrighty. So there we go. What do we do about this one out here that's kind of stubby? Well, that answered my question right there. So, I don't know why they changed that all of a sudden, so you get me, unless it's a different type of leaf or something. I think that's what it is. And stick one of these on the bottom, and I'm assuming the other one goes on the top. So, yep, that's exactly what it is. So these are just two shorter leaves is what these are. Whoops, well, oh, I put that on backwards, my bad. Boy, that's squeaky. Alright. Wait a minute, I did it again. Okay, well, there's a first time for everything. I need to use that brick separator. Or maybe I don't. Okay. The fork goes here, and this goes here. Alright, you got to be very careful when you get to that. You may end up making the same mistake I did. Alright. And, yeah, it'd be nice if these were dark green though, but they're not. And they go on this stub right here. The friction stub and the fork, so. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look like a plant. And we're ready to move on to bag 4. It doesn't look like we have a whole lot left. Let's take a look here and see what we have left here. I have a few extra pieces. Usually I never known Lego to send extra stuff like this, so I'll put that in the spare parts bin unless I forget something here. Demograph heads from the Lego Strange Things set were used to make the small blossoms for the set. See, they give you history right here, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we're almost done with this book. This is what I have left here. We're going to go ahead and blast through this whole thing. Let's just do it. This container is not as big. Oh, because my video is done. But let's do this first. And we'll see what we got here. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe I shouldn't throw that because I may need that. Okay. Oh, is those printed pieces I see? They are the thick piece. This is a piece, a helmet piece. Look at that. Printed. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a very useful piece too. So we stick a minifigure head here. What kind of pin do we need? A stud? Is it shoved? Okay. You shove this in here, I think. No, you can't even reach this. I think the head goes in next. So if you need white heads, there they are. There's plenty of white heads there. And you shove that in there. So I got to make 2 of these. There's not a whole lot of parts left down here. Oh, the lever's on the wrong side. I am not a lefty. There we go. Okay. And once we're done with that, these go Well, now I got to move the camera again, so I may have to keep this camera kind of fixed. I wonder if I just go up higher and just do this. There we go. Now, I think one goes here, because it looks about right. And the other one, sometimes it's hard to tell. We got the ice cream topper here. So we have one. Wait a minute, maybe it fits the wrong one. It shows that the bent one here, this is the one I'm working on now. We have this joint here, straight away. Okay, so it's this one here. Okay, see, you gotta really count this stuff. So yeah, there we go. I'm not trying to make this thing complicated. Alright, looking good so far. Ready to go. We got to make 6 of these. So I think that's the remainder of the manual there. Oh, feedback. I may have to do that. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to pull all these out. We're going to do these all at once here. So I'm just going to start putting these together. I've seen these a lot in black, but not in that color. Matter of fact, Technic needs some more color anyways, right? Oh, look! A magenta frog. Better not lose that. My luck, it'll fall somewhere and I'll never see that again. Alright, so I got 3 of those. We need to make 6, so we got a long ways to go. Making sure you can see everything when you can. As a matter of fact, I didn't think about this. Let me refocus here. All raw, uncut, unscripted. You won't find that on any other YouTube channel. Everybody scripts now. Okay, and we just got done with that, and we stick one of these bushings in the back. So, and you know, here's the thing. The more pieces we put on, the less we actually have to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these big white things in here. And I'm going to heard something clinky clinky. Oh yeah, even if you don't know, if you haven't watched the part exploration, we get white sporks too. So I'm going to start grouping parts up while I'm here until I can find the bushings. So, a little bit of a part sorting in here. So if you love part sorting, there you go. And then, okay, I found one. Sometimes you have to. One of the things that we were taught in when I used to take wood shop in high school. Then when I started getting into electronics repair, computer repairs, never to have a cluttered workshop because it's almost impossible to find everything. Yeah, don't heed that warning because you will lose stuff on here eventually. So there you go. Can I put the shields in there? Just starting to slowly sort these pieces here. It's all the small stuff too. If you notice, that's what's hanging me up right now on the build. Is I'm building 6 large pieces, but what am I doing? I'm actually trying to fish the smaller stuff out of here so I can easily find it. So I'll move all these sporks over here. We got sporks for the picnic, so we can have the picnic under. So if you need a spork, just reach up and pull it off the plant, and there you go. That's where all the sports mitts went. Okay. Hope that's the last of the bushings. Actually, I think it is, because there's one more hidden in here. You know how I know is because they're getting hard to find. Usually Lego gives you 1 or 2 extra of the smaller stuff. Alright. Put that there. Step 88 right there. And we're going to take 2 of those. Oh, I see how those go on. I was kind of puzzled, like, how would they attach these? Because these just have sticks inside. Well, no, they go like this. They just slide into these things. That's what those are for. Okay. And looks like a little butterfly is what it looks like, huh? No, little butterfly. Yeah, next time I do these, I'm bringing water in here. Wait a minute, did I put that on backwards? Let me make sure here. I think I am doing that. I think I did this one backwards. There we go. Looks like that didn't look right. Well, now we know, because I did it wrong. Whoops, made a boo-boo. So what is this, the orchid that I'm working on? I forgot, maybe it is. Pretty cool though. One more. And that means I don't have to see these again. We're getting close to finishing up. Okay. And then we put the parabolic ring on the back, so we'll stick that on there. Doesn't matter which way. Indeed it does. So you got to put them upside down like that. Wanted to make sure something. No, they didn't. I thought maybe those were keyed. The bushings were keyed, but they're not. Yep, the further you go, the faster it goes, because you don't have to thumb through all the parts unless you pre-sort. Sets like this are good if you have a bunch of friends that like to do Lego, and they can help you put the stuff together instead of doing it all freehand, all by yourself. They'll sit flush too. Okay, cool. I mean, we're almost done here too. See, we're getting close. I think that's probably the last page. So we got to do that. It would be easier to put this here and then put that on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and just prefabricate these now. And we'll get going on this here. Yeah, next time I have a few other sets I'd like to do. I may start doing more of these just to kind of document my work. And I've been thinking about converting these over to speed builds too. Keep both flavors. So somebody who wants to sit there and listen to their precious piano music, they can do so, and they can just do that. Alright. So that's what that will look like there. Sorry you're not really seeing a whole lot. There's really not much to see right now. And if I was a cajillionaire, I would actually buy another camera and do 2 different angles of this. So you'll see a down angle and then this angle here. Wait, oh, right there in front of my face. I feel silly now, huh? Alright. Alrighty. So, I hope we're going to decorate that in the front. And then what's next here? Okay, we put the shields on the most outer four. Okay, so we're going to have to pre-make shields. There's actually 3 shields here. Alright, so what's 3 times 6? That's 18. Guess what we're going to have to do? Oh, wait, look. See right here, using the spork here. The holder thing, and then that. So let me see if we can do, let's see if we can interpret what they want here. So it says take the spork. Well, that didn't fit. The arrow shows the spork going that way, but look right here. They made a mistake here in this manual. I'll show you. Or did they? No, they didn't. Never mind. See, there's a little notch in there, so you just have to wiggle that in. I thought maybe it was just a boo-boo or something. But I can't even get that in there. Does it matter which way it goes? Well, I don't know because I dropped it on the floor. Right underneath the tripod. So the pointed end goes here, and then the spork, does it matter which way the spork faces up? Alright, see, I can't even get the spork in here. It's almost like they didn't plan this ahead. I mean, can I go backwards? I mean, that barely fits. I'm putting the spork in this way. And then it fits like that. But why didn't it go how they wanted it? So it's got to look like that. I got to make 17 more of those too. Oh, so if you want, you can just fast forward through this. I gotta have a reference picture here. Oh, this one went in pretty easily. So yeah, I mean, okay, first off, let me just shove all the sporks in there first. We'll just have ourselves a spork bonanza. That must have been just a bad one because I had to fight to get that in there. Yeah, since I'm going through this, the part out value on this is pretty good for MOX. I don't know what I'd use the shields for, but can you see that down there? Kind of, at the bottom. So we're not going to need these for a while. We got to make 18 of those. How many have I made? 4. So, yeah, I've only got one fully completed too. In fact, what I may just do is start tossing the random colored stuff in there and then shove, like, just do this so it'd be easy for me to find the sporks. And see, here's another one here that I'm having a hard time with. There we go. And then when I find one of these, I'll just shove this on here as I go. Okay. And then I'll keep these over here for completed ones. Like I got one of these, so I'll just shove that on there. And we'll just continue on with this. Yeah, you just feel free if you want to fast forward through this. This is going to get pretty tedious here. Let's just get rid of all these. We're going to keep them in groups of 6. So I've already got 6 done. I'm a third finished with this here. Okay, we'll grab a shield. Looking for a spork. I have a feeling that's an extra piece. I'm finding these big things. We know there's got to be more sporks in here. So we'll have to do a little bit of a pre-sort. I'm not throwing those shields in there. I'm finding the shields. I am finding the holder things, not the sporks. So I have almost everything here but that. It's got to be buried in this little pile of bricks. That's the only thing I haven't pulled out yet. I see a few of them floating around in there, but I haven't reached and grabbed one yet, so get that off the... Oh, I got a spork. Okay, now we can continue on. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing this stuff too, so it doesn't really matter. My way is not necessarily going to be the correct way for someone else. Yeah, what makes it boring, the build, is the repetitious building here. Because see, I'm on a deadline to get these done, so I have to. You know, this can't just sit in my closet for a year or two, and then I get to it. When Lego sends me this stuff, I have to actually get it done. So it's not like I can, you know, sit on it. Alrighty. I think I pulled out almost all the shields. I'm literally mining for sporks at this point. Like just trying to find them and then shove them in there. And I've already got the other pieces, so it's just like, okay, let's just build it. Now I'm technically halfway done in that. 9 times 2 is 18. So we're halfway done there. White parts on a white table. Alright. I mean, do I think the sets are relaxing? It's a bit different. Oh, I see. There's little burrs on the ends of these. That's why they're having a hard. That's why I'm having a hard time getting that in. Thought we were running out of holder pieces. No, I got plenty more to pull out of there, huh? But honestly, guys and gals, I would rather build my own stuff. You know, the thing about being in the fan media is, you know, I gotta put my 2 cents worth into things. So there, a baker's dozen. Oh, you can't even see where I'm putting those at, huh? They're right there. Let me move these up. It's a lot of work. It's if you're going to do this, I would do it between chores, not in one sitting like I am. Making sure the old camera's still recording. If the camera gets bored, it'll shut off. That tells me that it's not an. Maybe the camera is staying on because it thinks it's interesting. I don't know. I hope you think it's interesting. The commentary, or my attempt at commentary. Alright, there we go. Got that guy in there. One more. I've got several more. I got 4 more left to build after this. This is where you need to have a couple of buddies. You know, download a copy of the instruction manual and you'll all just build a portion of this. Like I said, you could probably get this set done in 20 minutes. If you're doing it solo, you know, you see how long it's taken me. Of course, I'm also showing parts as I go too, so it just... boy, my hands are getting red. Yeah, alright. I've got 1 extra spork too. Cool. I have to say that for the picnic, for the 19th guest, because there's 18 sporks in here. Alright. So I think the spork might be a leftover, and then now we stick these on here. So these two, I think I get them on right here. Yeah, these two go on like this. And then this one goes on the bottom like that. That's kind of pretty, huh? Well, guess what? I need that as a blueprint because I got to make 5 more of those. So let's have fun and do it. Let's get her done. So my tutorial is done over there. I thought this is going to be like going through this real quick. Now this is actually taking longer than I thought. Okay, let me make sure these are lined up so I know I did the parts correctly here. When you build stuff like this and there's multiple steps, best thing to do is to really focus on one. And then when you're done with that one, then you can just use that one. You could use the book if you want, but sometimes it's better to look at a live model. And then you can just copy what you did. Okay. And so far so good. I got 4 done. Isn't this fun, huh? Get to watch me put parts together all night. Okay. Alright. After we get that done there, we stick them on there. Then we're going to have to make 6 of these little boat, little tie things. So, yep, back to dumping out parts again. This time there's not a lot. This is all that's left. So, we're just going to build these up first. Oh, these go like that, my bad. Okay. So now, I'm going to have to build 6 of those. I'll put all, matter of fact, what I'm just going to do, the brown goes in there, the dark brown goes in here. We're at that point now where we can start sorting by color. And then we'll keep the magenta frogs out so they can go ribbit all over the counter. Poop. Speaking of that, worked out in my garden today, and it was, it's getting nice outside. I'm enjoying it before the 120-degree heat hits. And when it's cool outside, that's when you take advantage of it. Want to stay inside and build with their Lego. Sometimes I'll take my Lego outside and build out there like a set. Like my the stuff that I purchased and was given to me as gifts. Stuff like this, I don't, because I don't want to lose parts to it or anything. So that's pretty much what it is. Throw the 19th spork in there. We're almost done with it too. If you stuck around this long, I really tip my hat off to you. I really do. Or if you're falling asleep, if you use these to fall asleep to, let me know. Okay, so we got the magenta frogs, and these go in, I think, that bottom tube. And the frog goes here. We'll just do that. We'll just do that real quick here. So I think these. Okay, so it's like this, and I think these go in the bottom, and they tip down like that. So the frog also sits facing down, like so. Something like that. Well, what happened? The spork shield failed. Something like that right there. So I got a blueprint. It looks just like the picture. Well, I got to do that 5 more times. Isn't that fun? Yeah, I got to do that again. So, and then what I'm going to do real quick is just put it together, get her done here. Because, like I said, I want to go back to building MOCs. You know, I mean, is there anything wrong with building sets if you're a MOC builder? Not really. It's just when I do these, the thought process, the engineering has already been thought up for me. I'm basically just copying a picture at this point. I know some who are into the communities, they like set building because to them this is soothing. For me as a MOC builder, yeah, I'd rather come up with my own ideas instead of using somebody else's ideas. Nonetheless, so that's how we learn things. Like when somebody watches my tutorials, they're basically copying the tutorial. But some have said, hey Jay, I don't have these parts, but this is what I did, and they come up with something. They use different pieces to build my tutorials, and you know, it's a different perspective of it. So they build it their way, and that's how it is, you know. Okay, well, we still got pieces left on the counter, which are in those containers, which is just brown. So, what are we exactly missing? Unless this stuff gets poured in there. Okay. And now we have to start installing all that. So that's fun, right? We'll see here how fun it really is. I'll start with this. We're going to start, let's match the picture up here. That's what you do. And we'll start right here. And this piece sticks up. Obviously we can't see it, but there it is. I don't want to rotate it right now because I want to make sure all this is in here. This one here is kind of hard to see, so where does this one go? I usually have it marked in red. Let's do all the ones that I can see in red first. So, I think there's one that goes there. Let's see here. I may have to rotate it. I'll have to rotate it back. Starting to look like something now, huh? And see, some of these are hard to see. So I have to kind of guess at these here. Like, where do they go? You know, what do you do? Like, I see one that goes up here. Okay. And then there's one that goes right here. I mean, is this thing pretty sturdy? Yes, it is. Except for a few of the smaller pieces flaking off. Looks like we took care of that. There's nothing on this little branch here. Looks like this branch is done. So it leaves this branch here. Or I could just rotate it around and see what holes are left open. Like obviously there's a hole here. So I'm assuming there's one that goes on the top of that. What they should have done is broke this up into 2 sections to make it easier to find out where everything goes. And they show one in this joint here, but I'm not really seeing here. Here's a joint here. So I think I'm going to have to rotate that. That's the only last one that there is. So if you mess up, I'm sure there's only 6 holes here. Alright. Yeah, so there's only 6 available holes. And okay, so now we got to do some stuff down here. Let's line it up here the way that the picture is, and they show something here. Are these just sitting in there? And yeah, this is like potting soil, so this is just set in there. It's just dumped in there. Okay, well, yeah, that's a first for me because I have never, like, they gave me round tiles to throw in there. So let's put this, let's do it how they want us to do it first. I thought, well, this is pretty stable, right? Well, no, because like this, you can't attach, and there's no way to attach this. You just set it in here like that. That's all you do. You just set it in. So, yeah, we'll just make one more of those, and it goes on the opposite side, and then we'll sprinkle in our potting soil in here. So they were trying to make this as realistic as possible. So that's it. It just sits in there, and then you just take these. Matter of fact, that's the last step. Just drop them in there. So let me mix it up, and then we'll sprinkle that stuff right down in there. Just start sprinkling it in there and stuff. I was like, they're going to have to hide that somehow, but no, that's how they're hiding it. I mean, I guess it does look like mulch or something, so I mean, it's just packed and loose. Here, we'll sprinkle some right in the middle there too to kind of make that really work here. I mean, I've seen mock builders do this for, like, they'll take some trans clear studs or whatever, and or, you know, like blue, and use for water. But for a professional thing like this is a bit crude. I mean, I guess if a hobbyist can do it, I guess it's okay for the Lego professionals to do it too. Although it does make it look a little bit more rugged. Man, I can't get all those in there. Wait, Lego, did you actually send me extra pieces to stuff in this? Let's just pack that in there. There we go. Now I gotta make sure it's really good. Let's sprinkle some in the middle down in there. Alright, let's see here. And I believe that's it. Yep. Because that's all that remains is all the parts that we get. So, final assessment, just like with the other Botanical Collection sets, it looks pretty. This would, you know, on here it actually adds color. You know, if it's got white flowers for it being an orchid, it does. It is what it is. It looks pretty. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks very beautiful, and it. I don't know. I think it said it stood about 15 inches tall. Here's a comparison to the manual here. So, what would you use this for? Well, it even jiggles like a real one too. This would look good in like a cubicle if you had to sit in a corner, or even in a Lego room, like if you have a dedicated Lego room or something like that. Office, if you don't have any color in your office, and think about it too, you don't have to water it. So, honestly, in my opinion, It's a very beautiful build. It got repetitious after a while. Is this something I would buy on a regular basis? No. You know, I prefer real plants. But if you're a person who loves floral arrangements, who loves gardening, who loves flowers, yes, this would be a great deal. This would make a great conversation piece. Just imagine if this was sitting on a bookshelf somewhere above a fireplace, like on a fireplace mantle or something. But it's a nice little build. It's just not my taste, you know. Move the light over so you can see it better in all its glory. But the back is left to be desired of. So obviously you're going to have one side that faces the wall. Excuse me, that tells me I guess it's time for Betty Buys or a nap, but there it is. That's the orchid. This is from the Botanical Collection, Lego Creator Expert, set number 10311. Do I recommend this? If you're into flower arrangements, yes. If you're looking for something that's minifig scaled, well, yeah, you're going to probably have to pass up on this one. So if you stuck around this long, thank you for watching the build.